Hey everyone, welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game. We're on scenario 6.3, so this is level 6, adventure 3. We're at the Forgery of Ra, where at this location all monsters have and are immune to the fire trait. All damage dealt to you is fire damage. So that can be a lot of trouble for Alahazra because the majority of her offense has fire. Okay, I want to let you know that in Alahazra's starting hand, she has the Staff of the Uraeus. I forgot to mention last scenario that since Alahazra gained a weapon, as it's showing right here, a weapon card feat, she needed a weapon for her deck. And what's cool about her being level 6 is she could just choose from any card of level 4 and under to add to her deck. So she has the Staff of the Uraeus. Pretty interesting for combat checks. Also some shenanigans with evading monsters. And for, let's see, I guess that's it. But anyway, if we decide to use it, we will look at it more in depth. Okay, advancing the Blessings deck. The first card we get is a Mummified Sphinx, Combat 17, Undead Sphinx Mummy. The Mummified Sphinx is immune to the mental and poison traits, also the fire trait, since it's in the Forgery of Ra. Before you act, recharge your hand, reset your hand, and bury a card. So that kind of sucks. We have to take our entire hand, and we're going to have to reset that. And we're going to then draw. We have a hand size of 8, so instead we're going to only draw 7 cards. Actually, no, we reset our hand to 8, and then we bury a card. Okay, so we get our 8 cards now, and the card we are going to bury, we'll bury a heat metal spell, because it has fire and attack, and everything's going to be immune to fire anyway. Okay, so now we can attempt to defeat this Mummified Sphinx, but it is immune to the fire trait, the mental, and the poison trait. The only thing I have in my hand is the Dune of Doom, so we will go ahead and try. Actually, you know what? We have this Ring of the Grasping Grave. Reveal this card and add 1d4 plus the scenario's adventure deck number to your check that invokes the undead trait. If the top card of the Blessings discard pile has the Pharasma trait and it has the Abdar trait. So what we're going to do now, so we could use the Ring of the Grasping Grave to add a potential plus 10 to our check. And then just use a Blessing of Thoth. So we could roll a total of 2d6 and add a total of 7 minimum. 2d6, what do you think? Can we do a 2d6 on a 7 and save our Dune of Doom spell? Because the Dune of Doom, it has an Arcane Divine 15 check, and our Divine is d10 plus 7. So actually it's going to be pretty hard. We're going to try it. We're going to do this. We're using the Ring of the Grasping Grave. We're rolling a d4. Alright, we rolled a 3. So we get to add 3 plus the Adventure Scenario deck number, which is 6. So we're adding a total of 9 to this check. Pretty awesome. We're using the Blessing of Thoth. We're rolling 2d6. Alright, let's see what we get. We need high rollers. Oops, that fell off the dice tower. Alright, so we rolled a total of 8, and 9 is 17. Wow, how about that? Right on the nose. We made it. That is pretty sweet. And all we had to do was reveal the Ring of the Grasping Grave. Wow, what a really awesome, powerful card. And that was didn't have any fire, mental, or poison traits because that were its immunities. All right, pretty awesome. We are resetting our hand. We are advancing the Blessings deck, and we get Ambush. Well, it's a barrier. Fortunately, we have the Find Traps spell in our hand. So it's a Dexterity, Acrobatics, Wisdom, Perception. Alahazra's best stat is Wisdom. Using Find Traps, she's rolling 3d8 for the Wisdom. Her Wisdom is d8 plus 3. Let's see what we get here. So we get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The difficulty to defeat is increased by the scenario's adventure deck number. So we actually needed a total of 9, 15, and we only rolled 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, thanks to Alahazra's wisdom buff. So we will go ahead and use Maga 3 Fingers. Sorry for the glare there. But we're going to recharge her so we can add 3 to that roll. So we barely survived the ambush. We defeated it, and we auto recharge Find Traps. It only has a Divine 8 check, so that's good. So what we're going to do now is discard the ambush. We defeated that barrier. So far so good. We only have 1 card in our discard pile, so we're happy about that. We are advancing the Blessings deck. We're going to see, okay, we get a Clockwork Menial, Intelligence Craft. Unfortunately, Alahazra just has a D8 for her intelligence. She has a blessing, but she really doesn't want to waste it. She's still got a bunch of monsters to meet here. So what we're going to do is we will just auto-fail this card, so we do not acquire it. Advancing the Blessings deck. We get the Parade Armor. Well, we'd really like this card because it's an armor. It's a level 5. If we get this card, we can do some trades. It has a Diplomacy 12 check, and our Diplomacy is D10 plus 6. Wow, so D10 plus 6? Okay, so we gotta roll 6 or higher on this D10. And we failed. Ouch. Well, that kind of hurt. Okay, the hand is fine. Advancing the Blessings deck. And we get the Symbol of Fear. So it says, we didn't examine this card, but we display it next to our deck automatically. It is defeated. So at the start of your turn, you have to recharge your hand and draw a number of cards equal. So that's just at the start of your turn. So Alahazra has this ability where she can discard a spell to banish a card that has a curse trait next to the deck of a character at your location. So even before we get to the start of the next turn, we're just going to deal with this right now and use Alahazra's ability. We do have to discard a spell, so we have to discard our Mighty Eruption spell. But the good news is that we get rid of the Symbol of Fear. Don't even have to worry about it. We like the cards in our hand. We want to keep them. We are going to reset our hand, advance the Blessings deck, and we get, okay, we get the Henchman. So it says here, all damage dealt by him is poison damage, which is changed to fire damage because the location supersedes the card. Before you act, search your location deck. If you find a non-villain monster, Mintu Nebeth is evaded. Well, we know that there's a monster there, and there he is, the Bone Crusher Wizard. Okay, so that was just a search. We weren't examining. We have to shuffle everything back in the deck. There's 5 cards in the deck now. Roll on a d6 to see which card is on top. It's the 4th one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have the option of doing an extra exploration. We could do that. Yeah, you know, let's try it. We're going to use our faithful cleric ally who really helped us out. We're going to discard this card to examine the top card of your location deck. Then you may explore. Okay, let's try it out. We're examining. Okay, we examine him. Now we may explore. And we're going to go ahead and we will explore because we know that he's automatically evaded. So kind of glad we did that extra exploration because we need to get rid of him. So advancing or resetting our hand, we are advancing the Blessings deck. And we get the Twin Serpent Quarterstaff. It's a basic weapon, strength melee arcane. Our arcane is D4. Our strength is just a D6. We're not spending any blessings on this. So what we're going to do, we are going to just auto-fail that. Kind of sad, but that's what we're going to do. So there are 3 cards left in the Blessing deck, and there's 4 cards left in the Location deck. Wow. So we are going to have to do something here. We'll use can we use the Blessing of Matt to explore? No, we can't use the Blessing. We're going to use a Blessing of Pharasma to discard this card to explore our location. Okay, and we get him. So he's evaded. So that kind of really sucks. So we need to stop doing all this stuff. So what we're going to do, So you know what is interesting? Now, can we do this? I'm looking at her hand. So, divine traits. My skill is 3 to 6. Where's my head? Okay, you know what's interesting? So we encountered this guy, but this time in our hand, since we had to reset our hand, we do have the armor. This is probably one of the better loots in the entire game, because it says recharge this card to ignore a non-villain Bane's power that happens before you act. And there it is, before you act. So we can totally nerf that, which is what we're going to do. That is awesome. And we have to recharge it, which really sucks. But we nerf it. And since we recharged it and we nerfed it, now we can go ahead with the damage. So he is immune to, so he does fire damage. He doesn't have any immunity. The only immunity he has is fire. So for the first thing we're going to do, and he's a human rogue poison. So we have this interesting life lantern in our hand. We've never really used it. It says for your combat check, reveal this card and recharge a card that has a divine trait. So we'll go ahead and recharge this fiery glare, because the fire effect would be totally useless. So we'll recharge that card. So we can use our divine skill plus 3d6. If the Bane has the poison or undead trait, add another d6, and it has the poison trait. Okay, so maybe this life lantern is going to be our saving grace, because we get to roll a d10, plus we get to roll 4d6, plus, just assembling my dice here, 4d6, and we get to add our divine skill, which is 7. So we're adding 7, and we need a 20. So we roll a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16, 22, and 7. Wow, so that was 29 for the first check. So that was pretty awesome. And that was a item, so we used an item for that check. And now for the second check, we'll go ahead and use our Dune of Doom. It's attack bludgeoning, so he's just immune to fire. And this is our arcane skill plus 3d10. Okay, so d10, so a total of 4d10. Could be kind of chancy there. 4d10, adding 7 to this roll. Let's see what we get. We get a 3. We get another 3. We get 6. We get a 7, so 13. 13 and 5 is 18. We add 7 to that roll. 18, 19, 20, 25. Wow, how about that? 10, 18, 19, 20, and we need, our charisma skill is d10 plus 7, so 7, 10, so 25. So how about that? 25 right on the dot. Well, that is awesome. So we defeat this henchman. It says, if defeated, draw the loot. Then you may immediately attempt to close the location this henchman came from. So we get this interesting loot. What is it? The Cartouche of Protection. So we acquire this awesome level 6 loot. Always happy for high level items. We're going to roll, so we banish him. We will see if we recharge our Dune of Doom spell, d10 plus 7, and we don't, unfortunately. So now we can attempt to close this location. When closing, you are dealt, wow, that is hilarious. You are dealt 1d6 fire damage. Okay, let's see what happens. So we take 5 fire damage. I'm going to use a Blessing of Matt. So it says, recharge this card to reduce damage dealt to you by 2. So we'll do that. And then we're going to use our ally, the Ubashti, to reduce damage by another 2. So we only take 1 point of damage. We'll go ahead and lose our Ring of the Grasping Grave, even though it was pretty awesome. So we successfully close this location. Let's go ahead and refill our hand to make sure that we haven't perished in this scenario. And we easily are able to reset our hand to 8. The Forgery of Ra has been defeated. The reason why the Forgery of Ra has been defeated is because of this card, which is this. This loot card is the single most powerful reason why we defeated the scenario. Alright, pretty exciting, because not only did we defeat the scenario, but now we get to look at the rewards for the scenario. The rewards for this scenario, were a random weapon or armor of level 4 or higher. So we'll just go ahead and pull those out. Let's look at here. Level 4 or higher. Let's see what we get. Okay, whoa. We get Grave Watcher Chainmail. And then the weapon. So level 4 or higher. Randomly shuffling some cards here. Let's see what we get. Level 4 or higher. Level 4 or higher. Whoa. Staff of the Hooded Cobra. Man, that was really amazing. Check that out. We get all this extra loot. So let's go ahead and do a deck check. Man, that was amazing. So we discarded the Heat Metal spell. Let me go ahead and get that right there. So there's our spells. We got this awesome new weapon. We got some new armor here. And we're on level 6. Is this armor going to be enough to get rid of this armor? This is reveal. This card reduces all damage dealt to you by 3. Recharge this card to add 1 die to a check that invokes the undead trait by a character at your location. So we have to recharge it. So when you play a blessing as a Pharasma trait, to recharge this card to add 1 die. Okay, I mean, it's interesting. Banish this card to reduce all damage dealt to you by 0 if a version with light armor is buried instead. I mean, don't really know if it's as good as this loot armor that we got early on in the campaign. But I just want to show you what she has in her deck. So she's got a lot. She gained, of course, this new item. She had the Life Lantern. That was like the first time I've used that lantern. We still got our Wand of Scorching Ray, Blessing of Ra there. This is our blessing. Ring of the Grasping Grave, turning out to be pretty amazing. Staff of Dark Flame. So right now we are halfway done with Scenario, or I should say level 6, and Alahazra is looking pretty powerful. She's got, look at all that great stuff she has. So there's all of her stuff. Do a little angle check there. So this is what she has. Of course, she'll just go ahead and go to the her pal Hayden Hopper once again. I don't know exactly. Once again, this I'll start doing this when I look at spells. Hayden Hopper is offering spells of level 5 and 6. So what's he got for us? 5 and 6. So he's offering a Ride the Lightning spell or a Vision spell. That's pretty cool. So the Vision, discard this card to examine any location deck. If you find a villain, it escapes as if undefeated. So after playing this card, if you don't have either the Arcane or Divine Skill, banish it. So this isn't really going to be that interesting to Alahazra. She has a lot of shenanigans where she can search, but this Ride the Lightning spell, it's attack electricity. Display this card. While displayed, reduce electricity damage dealt to you by 0. For your combat check, you may discard a card to use your Arcane skill plus. Well, of course, Alahazra's Arcane skill is just a D4. So this really isn't that beneficial to her, so I don't think she's going to take it. We'll say, thank you, Hayden Hopper. You were looking more for mages than mystics. I don't really know what cards I'm going to keep right now, but that was a successful adventure. Really exciting. It's really interesting what these cards and combos can do. So hopefully you enjoyed watching that scenario, and I will have another scenario up shortly. All right, thank you.